Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Masterpiece Transformers figure Starscream, which was the Walmart exclusive. So what I'm going to be doing is we're going to take a look at him and his accessories, then going to do a quick transformation, and then take a look at him in his alt form and the accessories that go with that as well. So just remember, if you do like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's a small click for you, but it'll really help this channel grow. So, without any further ado, let's get to the review. Alright, so here he is. He's a really cool looking figure. I really like the way he looks. I love the detail that they put to him. Alright, he does stand very well on his own. Now that I said that, he's going to fall all over the place. So, let's give him the rotation. I think he's a very cool looking version of him. I love how they did like a wash on him too, to give him that kind of beat up gray look to his white. So, and it really makes all the detail like really stand out on him. So I think that's really cool. So let's go through some of his points of articulation. So his head does move just up and down. I know it has a little bit of a swivel. Yeah, there it is. All right. You have a shoulder joint, a swivel, an elbow joint. All right. You have a wrist joint. Oops. Wrist does. There it goes. Whoops. Fell over. Yes, the wrist does move. All right. You have a thumb joint. You have an index finger joint. And then you have your other fingers. All right. Get them like this. He does have a hip swivel. Okay. He has a thigh joint that swivels. I know it can go up and down. It's just he's a little old, so some of this stuff's a little tight on him. Yeah, there it goes. All right, so that does move. He has a knee joint. And you can sort of call this, I guess, an ankle joint. But it does exist, all right? He has a couple cool features. So one, to get his arms back to where they need to be, is that these open up to show missile pods. Now, the only thing that kind of bums me out about this is I wish these missile pods were painted, either a white or a gray or even a black, just to make them pop out a little bit more, especially with all the detail and everything that they did with this figure. You know, just to leave those unpainted, I think it's kind of lazy, but that's just my thought to it. Now, also, let's bring this back just a hair. See if we could get him a little bit closer so we could see some of these details to his face. His head, his face can actually change, all right? So what happens is, I gotta remember how to do this. The head pulls down, and then you can swivel it. So now, as you can see, he has a different face. Alright, so he has two faces. So he has that one, and then the one that I personally like, because it fits his personality so much, is that one, that one. Yeah. The smiling, smirking face I always like the best because, you know, that's just Starscream. You know, he was always a smirky individual, you know. So, those are the features. Now, he does come with a lot of accessories. So, first off, he comes with two of these laser cannons, which are very iconic to the jets from the Transformers. I have both of them. I don't know where the second one went off to, but what they do is they just hook in right here. All right, so there would be one on this shoulder, one on that shoulder as well. Okay. He comes with two missile sets. One, two, and then he comes with a fuselage here with a wing. Another one of these as well. He has these wings here that just clip onto here, like that. And also like that. All right. Now, And he also has these two parts, which are part of the fuselage. These are all for when he becomes plane mode. Now, technically, they're not supposed to come off. They're held on by a little ball joint here. Like, if you look at his hips, you can see the little ball joint for it. I personally like to take them off because I feel like it makes them look a lot more like the cartoon instead of having these hanging off of them. Because what it would do is, oops, wrong side. These would just clip onto the hip here. And it's been forever since one of these were put on. Just like, oops. I don't want to go back on today. Try it one more time. There it goes. Let me try the other side. Like I said, they're usually just supposed to just sit on there like. There. Alright, see how that sits on there? And then this one's supposed to sit on this side as well. Yeah, it just takes a minute to get them to pop in there. And this one's just being difficult for some reason. I don't know why. There it goes. Alright, so as you see, they're supposed to sit like that. Which, me personally, I'm not a big fan of that. Like I said, I prefer to have them off them because it looks a lot more like the cartoon. And same with these. These just kind of sit off to the side here. Just like that. Which, once again, I'm not a big fan of that. I think it just looks a lot better with these off when he's in robot mode. So, that's just a personal opinion. They pop on and off, you know, fairly easy. And he comes with this cool display case. So, what you could do is these you can display like this when he's in, you know, boom, robot mode. And what's nice is there's a little spot right here. If you look in the back of them, you can see there's this little peg hole here. All right. And that just clips right in there. And now he has this nice display, which is kind of funny because the jets are, for the most part, the only ones that actually have an actual display stand. I think Trax also comes with one too for when he's in like flying car mode. So, you know, that's all the real nuts and bolts to him as a robot. So next off, we'll go and take a look at him in jet mode.
Hey, are you going to be in the Philadelphia area between September 9th and 10th? If so, check out RetroCon. It's affordable. They have lots of great vendors. There's going to be cosplay competitions, celebrities, and much, much more. So go ahead and check out the link in the description. And also, Samuel J. Jones is going to be there, better known as Flash Gordon. So check it out. Plus, singer and actor Tom Wopat, best known as Luke Duke from the Dukes of Hazzards. Greg Evigan will be there, best known for BJ and the Bear, My Two Dads, and Tech Wars. Voice actress Kathy Garver will be there, the one and only Firestar from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Next on our list, all the way from Cybertron, the hit rock band Cybertronic Spree. And check this out, the rare Hasbro Proton Pack as a raffle prize. Now, you can't beat that.
Alright, so here he is after transformation. He's a really good looking jet. I love the way he looks. So let's take a good look at him. So stand them up like this, you can see, you know, the Decepticon logo on each wing. You can see the coloring and the detail that looks really nice to them. You spin it around this way, okay? You can see that the afterburners do move, all right? So they're movable, all right, just like that. You also got these here, which lift up, so you can actually see the engine, which is a nice little detail. All right, the flaps do move, okay, so you can have them in an up or down position. You also have this piece that opens up. All right, so I forget what that is in real jets. I'm not sure if that's supposed to open so they can do, you know, aerial refueling or not. If somebody knows what that actually is, just let us know in the comments. All right, so let's take a side look at them. Now, I think it's kind of cool. If you look right there, he has like a little crown decal on him, which kind of, you know, refers back to the Transformers animated movie where he was king for but a minute before he got blasted into oblivion. So I think that was a neat little detail. So let's give him the rotation. All right. So once again, he's really nice looking, okay? Also, the canopy opens, all right? And he comes with this guy here. I forget this gentleman's name. He was a mad scientist, doctor, or whatever that was in cahoot with Starscream for a couple of episodes. It's cool that they gave him this figure. I just wish they may have just taken an extra moment just to give this figure a little bit of deco, a little bit of paint, so he would pop out a little bit more when he goes in the cockpit. So he just sits in there. He doesn't sit very well. You know, he kind of sits in there, if you look at it, a little crooked. You know, it's just the way how he's shaped. Let me try again. There we go. Okay. I got him in there. So now he looks fine. Canopy shuts. And then he's inside. Now, the radar dome also opens, but you got to be very careful with these because all it is a thin piece of plastic. Unfortunately, I already broke mine. So when you spin it around here, you can see this is it. It's just like this really small piece. It easily breaks. If you're not planning on opening that, I would suggest not to open it. And that's with any of your jets because they all do it. So that's a good way to get it broken. You know, so that's completely up to you. Now let's look at the bottom. Okay, so you look at the bottom, you got your missiles here, your landing gear. Now be careful, the landing gear does stick. You know, so you gotta be careful opening these. Sometimes you could use a screwdriver and gently, you know, pry these open, but I wouldn't go too crazy with them. So that's what they look like when they're open, and then they just fold over and shut. Oops. Just like that. So now they're shut, and then this door opens. You can push the landing gear in there, and then that shuts over it. All right. Now you can also remove the missiles, and you can take his cannon here, and you can also have them like this. All right, or some people do it to where they plug that in there, and then you also have, oops, take this off, the missiles back on here, and then you have the cannon here, so you could have both on there. I prefer just to have the missiles. I think that looks really cool. And then he has a little hole here, and what that is for is on here, there's a little clamp here. You put that in that hole, all right, oops, just like that, and you can get the Megatron pistol and hook it on there like that. So now you can have them holding it like that, because in the cartoon, I believe there was an episode or two to where, you know, Megatron just hooks himself onto the front of Starscream and he flies around and, you know, he fires at people. So that's kind of a neat little thing that they have for him as well. Then speaking of the stand, we'll go over to that now. this pops out, and there's a slit here, so the stand can actually go like this. And then you could take your Starscream. There's a little hook and knob here that it just hooks onto. And now you can have him sit like that, which is really cool. I like how that looks. And then there's two little holes here for these. So the gun can sit on there like that. So now you can have him displayed really nicely on the display stand, and he looks really cool like that. I really like that whole look. So overall, I think he's a really cool piece to have with your masterpiece collection. He looks really good, you know, both in his jet mode and his robot mode. Probably the only thing I have an issue with is some of the parts on this is delicate, and you got to be really, really careful with them. Otherwise, they will break, and it's not that hard to break them, unfortunately. They're just really, really fragile parts. Some of the deco I wish could have been better. Like I said, in his robot mode, the missile launchers in his chest, I wish they would have just added a little bit of color to that to give it a little bit more pop. The same with the figure inside the cockpit. I just wish they would have just added just a little bit more paint to make that character pop. And now, before we go, there's something I'm sure a lot of you guys are noticing about my Starscream that's different from the ones that you have. When you buy the Starscream, the dome, the radar dome here, is silver. Like a silvery white to match, you know, the rest of the jet. And if you notice, mine's blue. And the reason for that is I didn't get a new piece. It's not a new piece. It is actual, the original dome that comes with it. But I found online a hack to where I believe if you take a paint thinner or something and you rub it across the dome, the plastic underneath is blue. And the reason why the blue is significant is because the original Starscream action figure, Transformer toy, had a blue dome. It wasn't until the cartoons that they gave him a whitish or a silver looking, you know, nose cone. So I think that's really neat that if you actually, you know, and like I said, I think it's a thinner. Go on YouTube or whatever. I'm sure you can find a video that tells you the exact thing to take the paint off without damaging, you know, the plastic. But yeah, me personally, I like the blue cone. I think it, you know, gives it a little extra color, a little extra pop. You know, I know some people like to keep their, you know, stuff as it was originally, so you keep the silver dome, because in a way that also works very well too. Like I said, in the cartoon, it was just a plain white or silver dome. So I figure I'd point that out to you just for anybody who's curious to why my nose cone is blue instead of the silver. So with that being said, I hope you guys did like this review. If you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It's a small click for you, but it really helped this channel grow. So until the next one, late.